to you live from Dunning Field. Ian Nicholas, Carter Ellis, and the rest of the NCTV crew bringing you the live action of some Connecticut lacrosse. Not FCAC lacrosse. It's one FCAC team, the New Canaan Rams, the number 3 ranked team in the state, heading into this matchup up against the number 4 best team heading into the state, heading into this game, located in Fairfield County, but they don't play in the FCAC. It is the Fairfield Prep Jesuits, who have a 2-1 record, and they are coming off a loss to Richfield. New Canaan 1-2, also coming off a loss to Richfield, which is clearly establishing themselves as one of the top teams in the league. But both of these teams, Carter, they want to bounce back in a big way. New Canaan, an up-and-down year. They've been bit a little bit by the injury bug. And I think it's fair to say to the people at home that they played their best game in that losing effort up against Richfield. They were up 7-4 at the half. Then Richfield comes out hot. In the start of the third quarter, they move Kai Prohaska to the face-off. They score 5 goals in the third. What is the word you've heard from the guys around the team on how that game shook up and how they are going to look the rest of the year after that tough but solid effort up against Richfield?
Yeah, Ian, just as you said, I mean, it was a very solid effort against Richfield despite the loss up there at Tiger Hollow. But they played, very well, pretty much up until the second half. They controlled the ball well. And then once they made that face-off change on the Richfield end, New Canaan just couldn't keep up, and that's just one of the things that definitely switched the momentum in the Richfield favor.
At face-off to start this game is the Trinity commit for New Canaan, Hayden Shin, the senior. And for Fairfield Prep on this young and experienced yet talented team, it is Ted Bednar, the junior, number 17, who's going to look to dominate draw controls today on the road in Dunning. New Canaan and Fairfield Prep matching up in these boys lacrosse matchup. And for the first draw of the game, Hayden Shin comes away with it, scoops it up, and New Canaan, with the first possession, looking to make something happen. Back in the lineup today for New Canaan, number 9, Callum Wood, returning from a back injury. His first game action since the team's season opener last Saturday, a 7-3 loss to the Staples Wreckers. And he plays behind the cage, Carter, and his impact from that position, as Coach Buzzio told me, he's one of the best attack in the state. He's going to have a huge impact on this game.
Absolutely, and Carter Connors definitely filled that void well, but having that experienced senior in Callum Wood back will definitely play a huge role in this game.
11:16 left to go in the first quarter, as shooting and missing wide right was the Bucknell commit, Ryan Coyote. He had an excellent effort, and the Rams losing effort on the road Thursday in their 10-9 loss to Richfield. He led the team with 4 points, 3 goals, 1 assist. Harry Apel behind the cage here, being guarded by star defenseman number 18, Mason Whitney, who, Carter, you know a little bit well from your hockey days. He is a superstar lacrosse player. Hockey player and lacrosse player at Fairfield Prep. But we're not talking about Whitney right now. We're talking about Nick Stiles, who shoots and scores the first goal of this game. New Canaan goes up 1-0 with 10:53 left to go in the first quarter off a Nick Stiles goal. And what happened there?
Absolutely. That's a name that we're going to be hearing a lot. And, Nick Stiles got right in the center of that cage, and it was just way too hard of a shot for goalie number 44, Sam Cargill, to save. And those are the types of plays that New Canaan's going to have to make a little more consistently, getting on the inside of the cage and getting more prime opportunities as opposed to shooting from the outside perimeter.
Second draw of this game with just under 11 minutes left, and they are deadlocked in the middle of the field. And Shin wins his second straight draw to start. Dishes it off to Apel. Over to Stiles again, shooting again, scoring again. The MIT man's on fire. Nick Stiles, 2 goals, 20 seconds. 10:38 left to go in the opening frame, and Nick Stiles making his presence felt, and he scores that one off the Harry Apel assist.
Absolutely. We're going to see a lot more of those goals on the in tight. Nick Stiles is a go-to man for those types of shots coming out of his box lacrosse days, as I said in the prior Ludlow home game.
Coach Graham Nemi, the 5th-year head coach of this Fairfield Prep team. He needs to get his team recollected. They have the talent, but an inexperienced squad is falling off the rails in the early going. 10.5 left to go in the first quarter. A third straight draw won by Hayden Shin, and Michael Norton is going to bring it up the field for New Canaan. Harry Apel behind the cage.
As you said, those are 3 straight face-off wins for Hayden Shin, and You see him kind of adjusting himself and straying away from his usual style of clean face-off wins. He's getting a little bit more messy in there, just trying to get the ball out and get it to his teammates. So those are, 2 scoop wins for him there. And that's the type of style that he's going to need to stick with for the rest of this game if he's going to want to be a consistent face-off man.
10:03 left to go in the opening quarter, and someone who's usually not messy is Ryan Coyote, but he misfires on a pass to Chris Canaan and turns the ball over. So Fairfield Prep will take over on the offensive for the first time today. Working it to number 6, Tyler Fox. Now over to number 2, Maddox Little. Maddox Little, the sophomore attack man, had 1 goal in their team's losing effort to Richfield on Saturday. They traveled up to Tiger Hollow and lost 13-5. In a game at one point they led 3-0, but then the wheels fell off in the second half. Marco Furmender, also one of the top football players on the Fairfield Prep football team, and number 41, Peter Grandofolo, are 2 big sophomores that will be big names in this Jesuit program for years to come. Shooting, scoring from the right side of the cage, number 12, Kyle Stevenson, the senior midi, with his first goal of the game and his second goal in the last 2 games. Carter, that's why he's committed to Franklin and Marshall. That's why he came over from Avon Old Farms as a transfer to get goals like that.
Absolutely, yeah. The way that he was able to freeze Holden Busby there, Holden didn't know what to do. He got locked, and he ended up falling back inside of the cage. And that's just a tough read. It's such a versatile player, such as he, able to shoot when and where he wants.
9:12 left to go in the first quarter. John Totaro in for the face-off for New Canaan, and then absolutely lit up is Michael Norton by number 17, Ted Bednar, the face-off man, delivering a devastating blow. And then the ball is stripped, the ball is loose, and there will be a foul called on the play. It's on New Canaan, so Fairfield Prep will take over. Both teams going back and forth at that one. Really physical, just what you like to see in the early going with 8:47 left to go.
Flag on the field.
Flag on the field, so let's see if New Canaan will be in a man-down situation here.
Yeah, after a big hit like that, you definitely see the game get a little more scrappy. Christian Walter getting frustrated after all those slashes, and it's definitely tough to control a ball such as that when you have 3 Fairfield Prep guys just absolutely battering you up the field.
Well, there are 2 flags on the field, but both teams, I believe, are fully out here. No man-up, man-down situations in the early going. Number 24 moving with it now, Ryan O'Connell. And no, New Canaan fans, not that Ryan O'Connell. Fairfield Prep's Ryan O'Connell. Dylan Stevens getting physical on the defensive end. He is giving number 2, Maddox Little, nothing to work with. But shooting and scoring right off the right pull. Number 6, Tyler Fox. What did the Fox say? A goal.
Absolutely, yeah. What a sidearm shot there by Fox. And we're getting the motion from the referee that the flag is coming off the field, so there will be no man-down situation for New Canaan.
So that was a man-down goal. And it will be Tyler Fox who scores with 7:56 left to go here in the first quarter. It's been a high-scoring affair, just how we like it. 2-2 already, just under 4 minutes in to the opening frame. Hayden Shin wins another draw. He's won all 4 of his draws so far today. A really good start for him. It's been a shaky start to the season for the Trinity commit, but he's looking to change his fortunes today.
Absolutely, yeah. That's just what you like to see from Hayden Shin coming out of the face-off dot.
Chris Canaan, who scored 3 goals in the losing effort on Thursday, slowing it down for New Canaan, nearly losing it. Applying the pressure. And it's going to be a push on Prep's number 43, Gavin McCarthy, the freshman defenseman, getting physical on the senior captain, Chris Canaan, with 7:22 left to go in the first.
Yeah, this is the type of physicality that New Canaan has not seen yet this season, so it'll be interesting to see how they react to this hard-slashing, hard-hitting affair.
Nick Stiles, he's got 2 goals. He's got 3 goals. 5 to 6 yards in front of the crease. Moving in and dominating this game early on is Nick Stiles. He has scored all 3 of New Canaan's goals now with 7:09 left to go in the opening quarter.
Yeah, what a shot by Nick Stiles there to get in tight yet again and just go 5-hole on number 44, Sam Cargill.
Prep rolled with 2 goalies in their last game. It was both Cargill and number 33, Greg Holinsky. Cargill gets the start today, the senior. Let's see if we will see the sophomore Holinsky as this game goes on. It's going to be a violation on number 17, the face-off man for Prep, Ted Bednard. So Hayden Shin wins that one by default, and New Canaan will take over possession once again, looking to re-extend their lead. Michael Norton with the ball, and Cooper Callahan rocking the hair and rocking it on defense.
Yeah, Fairfield Prep not winning a face-off yet. Still able to keep it tight within 1 early in this game. But, not winning a single face-off. If that sort of streak continues, we will definitely see a much more lopsided affair on the New Canaan side.
Ryan Coyote moves to his right. That is deflected. Loose ball. Coyote still looking to scoop it up, which he does. Whacking him. Really physical play from Kyle Stevenson on defense. The ball's loose again. And it looks like Prep is taking over. That ball secured by number 18, Mason Whitney, who plays defense in lacrosse, but was a former superstar hockey player at Fairfield Prep. Was just named Game Time CT's Player of the Year as a star forward for them. And is a consecutive 2-time SCC Player of the Year for Connecticut hockey.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, definitely being a hockey player myself, I know how Mason Whitney plays. Very offensive-minded. And as I was telling you before, it was very interesting to see him on the roster as a D-man. But, he's a tenacious player on the ice and on the field, as we see here now.
3-2 your score, 5:40 left to go in the opening quarter. High-scoring affair here from Dunning. Shooting, top shelf finish, and a score to tie this game up at 3. And it's Peter Grandolfo, the sophomore midfielder, who makes it a tied game for the Jesuits with 5:35 left to go in quarter number 1. A beautiful shot there, Carter.
Yeah, Holden Busby is there trying to talk to his D-men, trying to figure out what went wrong there. They were playing a tight perimeter defense, but Holden just could not see the ball, and it snuck past him in that top right corner.
Shin back in for the face-off, fighting against Bednar, and it will be Prep who wins this one, looking to swing the momentum in their favor. Bednar takes it along the far sideline. Whistles are blown.
And a timeout on the Prep side.
We're going to get a timeout from fifth-year head coach Graham Niemi with 5:25 left to go in the opening quarter. An excellent back-and-forth game here from Dunning. New Canaan went up 2-0 early, just a minute and a half into this game from 2 Nick Stiles goals. He has scored all 3 goals for New Canaan. He has had a monster affair. He's battled some early season injuries, but he is showing no sign of wear or tear right now. Meanwhile, Prep's attack more balanced, but they have to win more face-offs. We know that. It's been a great game between 2 teams that were ranked number 3 and number 4 in the state heading into the season.
Absolutely. We're going to see a very much of a shooter's game today. Not seen any saves yet, but if the defense can keep up, we'll possibly see the game shift towards more of a defensive-minded game.
Both these coaches are well known not only for their coaching abilities, Coach Chip Buzzio, the 9th-year coach here at New Canaan, and Coach Grant Niemi, the 5th-year coach at Fairfield Prep, but both of them had terrific college lacrosse careers as well. We've already talked about Coach Chip Buzzio. If you tuned in for our first game against Fairfield Ludlow, talking about his career as a superstar lacrosse and hockey player here at New Canaan, and then going on to be a team captain for national championship winners under Coach Bill Tierney at Princeton. But Coach Niemi, pretty good player at Maryland himself, a 1997 graduate, a 4-year letter winner at Maryland. As a player in each of his Terrapin squads, reached the NCAA playoffs as he was a starter on the 95 championship team, which lost to Syracuse. Shout out Orange Men. And Niemi was a 1996 William P. Cole Award winner as Maryland's best midfielder. He was a 2-year starter who then became an undergrad assistant coach in 97 for Maryland, and that's where his coaching career took off. Furmender backing down the defense, shooting, deflected by Busby. Ball loose in front of a crease. Prep looking for a second opportunity. Scrapping forward is Grandolfo, and he earns another chance for Prep on offense with 4:48 left in the quarter.
Yeah, we see a very impressive save there in tight by Holden Busby, able to deflect that away.
Grandolfo pushed. Tight defense from New Canaan's number 25, Vin Cognetta, the junior. Mender working against Connor Bailey. Excuse me, Christian Sweeney. Dylan Stevens, the freshman defender, providing the excellent play for this team over their last 2 games. Fox looking for positioning. Spinning, shooting, saved. Slick save from Holden Busby.
It's a clean save by Holden Busby there, and it makes it easy for Dylan Stevens to be that aggressive on the outside. That's exactly what we need to see more of from the New Canaan side to match that physicality that Prep is offering.
New Canaan looking to clear it. Chris Canaan looking to do it all himself. With that athleticism, he certainly can. 3:48 left to go in the opening quarter of this tied game from Dunning Field. Ian Nicholas, Carter Ellis, and the rest of the NCTV crew bringing you the live action, so make sure you like and subscribe to the channel for more. Ryan Coyote slowing the pace down here, as there is Connor Bailey, who scored his first goal of the year on Thursday in their loss to Richfield. Coyote going on the offensive, getting it over to Norton. Rough pass to Connor Bailey, and that is a turnover for New Canaan, and Norton wants that one back. 3:19 left to go in the first. A high pass, and it finds its way to Cooper Callahan. Callahan works it up the midfield mark, dumps it off to number 12, Kyle Stevenson. 3:03 left to go in the first.
And New Canaan is appreciating a lot of good ball time, but Prep is just doing a great job of clearing the zone and converting it into an offensive effort for their men on the left side of the field.
Fox gets it over to number 22, Kyle Colucci, one of the senior captains as a midfielder for this Prep team. Backpedaling is Stevenson. Prep slowing it down. No shot clock here in Connecticut, so they can take all the time they want with just over 2.5 minutes left to go in the first. Norton isolated on Maddox Little.
Braden Sweeney's there ready to slide on that ISO, like you said.
Stevenson comes in to help, or Dylan Stevens, with his stick in the abdomen of Fox. Of Little, that is. Prep moving the ball around well, but New Canaan is not letting them get close to the yellow crease. 2 minutes left to go. A long possession for Prep after we saw goal after goal after goal to begin this one. Colucci tries to get inside. From behind the net, passes, losing the ball. Scooping it up is Braden Sweeney. Turnover from Kyle Stevenson. Sweeney down the near sideline. Pure speed, clearing it easily. Whistles are blown, and a timeout for New Canaan. As the renegade man, Braden Sweeney did his job, and then Coach Chip Buzzio did his to try to draw something up here in this 3-3 game with 1:39 left. New Canaan calls their first timeout.
Fairfield Prep is doing a great job in the offensive zone, keeping the ball in their sticks, and they're absolutely loving that isolation call. But New Canaan is doing a great job of being cognizant of that slide and just being patient, not rushing anything, as we've seen in the past few games.
Both of these teams coming off tough losses to Richfield, a great team, but both coaches really showing their wisdom and showing that in order to be a championship team, you have to lose a few games to go through adversity. And both coaches echoed similar statements throughout their talks during the week. Coach Nemi said, quote, "Listen, the best lessons are learned the hard way." Everybody knows that. We learned the hard way today when referring to their 13-5 loss to Richfield on Saturday. And then Coach Chip Buzzio, when I talked to him this morning, he said, quote, "It is so important to experience failure, but not too much failure." Obviously, he hasn't experienced too much failure during his 9 years at New Canaan, 2 FCAC championships, 3 state championships, 3 league titles for Coach Nemi over his 5-year run, really a 3-year run outside of this year before last year, year number 4 for him, did not happen, just like year 8 did not happen for Coach Chip Buzzio.
Absolutely, and Chip Buzzio also commented on the fact that they've had some injury troubles early in the season, and he's hoping to get all of his guys back by Saturday for their away game against Darien, which is obviously a huge FCAC rivalry, number 1 against number 3 in this lacrosse season.
Mm-hmm.
So we're hoping to see Tommy Augustine back, who's been out since that Staples game. Max Alert with that leg contusion, as you said.
Mm-hmm. Max Alert is probably going to miss this game. Will most likely return for their game on Wednesday up against Wilton on the road. Tommy Augustine will be back soon. Callum Wood was expected to be out today, but he was cleared late, back from his knee injury. He has the ball, his back injury. I keep thinking it's a knee problem. Here he is on the move. Gets it to Coyote. Long range, looks scooped up with a bounce from Cargill.
Wonderful save there. That's what Cargill's been looking for all game.
Minute 13 left to go in the first quarter. Still a tied game at 3-all. Cargill takes it out of the net, looking to clear it. Stiles goes over to pressure him before he gets it over to Colucci. On the wing, it's number 11, Aiden Derby, the attackman, getting his first action in this game. Charlie Borthwick, the Swarthmore commit, providing the defense alongside Braden Sweeney along the near wing. 46 seconds left in the first quarter. Prep looking for the perfect shot to close it out. Moving inside, and they find that perfect shot, and it comes off a second make today from Peter Grandolfo, the sophomore midfielder, with the hesitation in the score.
Yeah, Holden Busby just seeing that shot, looking for it on the right side of that pole, but it just sneaks it past his left shoulder and gets in that top left corner. Not much you can do there.
Prep takes their first lead of the game with just 34 seconds left to go in the first quarter. They were down 2-0. They've been up 3-1. They've been up 4-1 since. Hayden Shin loses it on the draw, and winning it and getting some momentum on his end is Ted Bednar. Prep looking to add one more goal with 24 seconds left to go in the quarter. Along the far alley, it's Tyler Fox being backed down by Dylan Stevens. He spins and gets the screen. Fox dishes it off, but losing it is Mason Whitney. Whitney racing for it with 6 seconds left. And it looks like neither team's going to pick up this loose ball and really do anything with it. Scooped up by Holden Busby. If you want to call that a save, it's a save. And after the end of one, Fairfield Prep looking to pick up a road win up against New Canaan. And they are up 4-3. Carter, what are your opening thoughts from the first quarter? Both teams had their pluses and their minuses. It looks like the momentum right now is with Prep.
Absolutely, yeah. Prep obviously coming back after New Canaan was up 2-0, and we just see them feeling more comfortable to take their shots from the perimeter, and it's getting past Busby. They're definitely hard shots for him to see as New Canaan is trying to keep that center of the field in front of Busby very tight, not letting any of those in the middle shots in. They're doing what they're supposed to, but Prep is just shooting very well. And on the New Canaan side, obviously Nick Stiles playing very well, having 2 goals, and Ryan Coyote having 1 as well.
New Canaan season started with a tough 7-3 loss to Staples on the road before bouncing back with a home win up against Fairfield Ludlow last Tuesday, a 13-9 win. They then traveled on the road on a miserable day weather-wise to play Richfield at Tiger Hollow, one of the toughest places to play in the state, and they lost 10-9. Meanwhile, Fairfield Prep played a couple of their SCC compadres to start this year and outscored them 23-4 over the first 2 games of the year before traveling to Tiger Hollow, where they suffered their first loss on Saturday, 13-5. It was a tied game at 4-4 at the break, and then Richfield put Kai Prohaska back on faceoffs, turned on the Jets, and looked like the number 2 team in the state. Fairfield Prep's a very inexperienced team, Carter. Coach Nemi telling me before the game he's never started this many freshmen. But do you really see a unexperienced team right now? If I told you none of them were freshmen, what would they look like to you?
Absolutely not. I definitely see this as a very physical team, and I don't see these guys as, heavily JV players for most of their high school campaign. They're definitely great shooters, and as you said, only 3 players having played 2 years ago for this last lacrosse season is a shocker to me.
Bednar and Shin back on draw control for the start of the second quarter here from Dunning. Shin had it for a moment, gets it again, and wins the possession for New Canaan. And then Harry Apelt is going to turn it over alongside Veneer Alley. A rough play there for the Williams commit.
That's a tough handoff for Hayden Shin to give to Harry Apelt. Obviously a pass that could have been received, but it's just in tight and hard to react to when you're that close to the out-of-bounds line.
James McGrath has entered the game for Prep number 7, as well as number 34, Palmer Fearmender, the younger brother of Marco. Kyle Stevenson moving it around behind the back of the cage. Fox with the ball alongside the near sideline. 11:22 left to go in the first quarter. 4-3 Jesuits on top of New Canaan. They're on a 3-1 run. Marco Fearmender spins to his left. He's got that size. Not letting Christian Sweeney get to him. It bounces off a pole and bounces out of bounds. It will be New Canaan possession. Not a bad shot there from Fearmender, though. Callum Wood looking to get his first goal of the year, and he almost snipes the bottom right corner of the cage. That ball out of bounds, and looks like it will stay in New Canaan possession as Harry Apelt takes over behind the net.
Yeah, the referee there giving New Canaan a break after a great effort by Cargill diving for that ball.
10:48 left to go in the first quarter as Connor Bailey zips it over to Chris Canette. Canette moving right, losing the ball. It's loose. And Canette goes right back up to pick up his blunder. Canette with the find and the score to the fellow senior captain, Harry Apelt. It's a tied game at 4-4, and a late flag is thrown. Beautiful find from Chris Canette.
Absolutely, yeah. We're seeing Chris Canette just emerging from that pick, coming from a New Canaan player as he hands the ball off to Harry Apelt, who finishes in great fashion.
So 10:34 left to go in the first half, and New Canaan ties the game back up at 4. Harry Apelt scoring the first non-Nick Stiles goal of the game. He already has a hat trick. Hayden Shin and Ted Bednar back at the face-off at the NC logo. And off the pick and off a near turnover, Chris Canette does what he does best, working in chaos. Shin off his foot, loses the ball. Still loose at midfield. And they're going to say it's a push on Prep, and New Canaan retakes over possession for a second straight time. Christian Sweeney is going to get things kicked off here as New Canaan makes a substitution, checking out Jack Connors and checking in number 6, Christian Sweeney. Chris Canette fell to the ground catching that pass, and he pops right back up. Canette also battling some injuries in this early season, but he won't let it show. Connor Bailey gets inside, spins around, back to Canette. Spins right. Ball poked loose by Gavin McCarthy. Canette scoops it up once again. 9:53 left to go.
Yeah, New Canaan's doing a great job of just possessing the ball, keeping it on the perimeter.
Coyote with the find, the Styles trying to flip it behind the back. He does to Apelt. Wood takes a whack, ball loose right under him. He doesn't see it. Connor Bailey fighting for it. And it will stay in New Canaan possession as Bailey did a good job to fend off Cooper Callahan and retain possession for New Canaan.
It was a great defensive effort on the Prep end, keeping Callum Wood away from the ball there.
At the whack in the head against Ryan Coyote. Multiple flags thrown. At that ball is popped off another save from Sam Cargill. Whacked in the head was Ryan Coyote. And I believe it's going to be a 2-man down situation for Fairfield Prep as number 22 and number 19 are going to check out of the game. That's number 19, Harry Steffens, the junior midfielder, and number 22, Kyle Colucci, the senior. So they're going to be down 1 man. New Canaan with a golden opportunity here to potentially take the lead with 9:18 left to go in the quarter. And a man-up situation. It's going to be a 1-minute man-up situation for New Canaan. Can they take advantage?
Yeah, a crucial opportunity here for New Canaan as the game is tied at 4s with 9 minutes and 18 seconds left, as you said, in the second quarter.
So until the 8:18 mark, New Canaan, if they keep possession, obviously, will be man up. Behind the cage, it's Vin Cognetta, that is. Apelt gets it over to Canette. New Canaan in the man up. Apelt Finds Wood, and Wood behind the net, out of play, and still New Canaan possession with 8:58 left to go. Still got 41 seconds of being man up for the Rams.
It was a great effort there by Vincent Cognetta to get back there and keep possession. Callum Wood being the X guy there.
Coyote from the wing gets it to Apel, jumping and missing, losing the ball. Callum Wood whacking for it, trying to regain possession. Cadet scoops it up, 20 seconds left of man-up time. Really trying to thread the needle, and it's saved by Cargill in traffic.
Yeah, as I was saying, Callum Wood there, the X guy, wanting to take those shots, missing wide. It's definitely a risky play because for a 1 minute man-up situation like this, possession is crucial, and you don't need to force any shots. You have 60 seconds to get a play going, so you can just do what Prep has been doing well all game and just waiting for that perfect shot, that perfect opportunity.
Prep is checked. Harry Steffens back into the game, so it is finally back to a full game. No more man up for New Canaan with 8 minutes left to go in the second quarter. Still a 4-4 game here from Dunning. Canet gets it over to Michael Norton. Norton defended by Steffens, the junior. Junior on junior action. Norton gets inside, misses wide left. Coach Chip Buzzio has been really proud of his play. He adds a whole new element to this offense. 7:44 left to go in the second. Apel gets it over to Coyote. Defended by Stevenson. Coyote running right, shooting, on the move, missing. Still New Canaan in possession as Nick Stiles was the closest man to the ball.
As you said, Ian, Chip Buzzio very happy with Michael Norton's performance. He has a lot of depth in the midfield position with Max Stillert out. Michael Norton definitely a go-to guy for Chip Buzzio at that midfield position.
Coach Nemi calls his second time out of a half with 7:31 left to go in this opening quarter. Ian Nicholas, Carter Ellis, and the rest of the NCTV crew bringing you the live action from Dunning Field in this terrific game. The scoring has slowed down, but the intensity is picked right up to prevent the goals from being scored. The defenses are really starting to click right now, especially Preps.
Absolutely, yeah. Just as I was saying in the middle of the two quarters, the defense definitely needed to amp up a little bit. We're starting to see a little bit more saves coming out of Busby and Cargill. So not so much of a lopsided affair anymore. Definitely keeping it interesting for us.
Definitely. It's 4-4 game. 3 goals for Nick Stiles, 1 for Harry Apel, and the scoring well distributed for Fairfield Prep. Prep will play 6 FCAC teams this year. They usually play a few less than that. And their next FCAC game should be a good one on Saturday up against the 10th ranked team in the Game Time CT poll heading into the year, the Greenwich Cardinals. And then meanwhile, New Canaan playing 3 top 5 teams this week. It starts with Prep today. They're going to travel to Wilton on Wednesday, and then the game heard around the state will happen on Saturday up against Darien at 3 o'clock at Stadium Field at DHS. And New Canaan will host Darien later this season in mid-May, so make sure you subscribe to but to find that live stream when we have it for you.
Yeah, Prep having a lot more FCAC teams on their schedule this year, not being able to play any out-of-state competition with COVID.
Yep, Coach Nemi reminding me that no big national games for his team this year, but they'll roll with what they got here in the loaded FCAC. 7:23 left to go as Michael Norton gets the screen from Chris Canet. Dumps it off to Stiles, cutting Canet behind the bag. And it dinks off the head of number 22, Kyle Colucci. That would have been highlight reel stuff from Chris. He's willing to take those shots, and he nearly makes that one. Coach Buzzio might not have been a huge fan, though. He calls the timeout with 7:11 left to go in the second quarter.
A very smart timeout by Chip Buzzio as Callum Wood just gets absolutely swarmed behind the net there.
Wood making his first reappearance since that back injury has held him out since the first quarter of the Staples game a few weeks ago. Fairfield Prep's upcoming schedule, they do play Greenwich on Saturday, but before that on Thursday, they will host Xavier. As we mentioned, Coach Nemi, after his stint as a phenomenal player, as a midfielder at Maryland, he spent 20 years as a college assistant coach at the JUCO, D3, and D1 level, JUCO being junior college. And before coming to Prep, he spent 13 years right here in Connecticut, but up north at Yale University, helping rebuild the program into a national contender. During his time at Yale, they won 1 Ivy League regular season title and 4 Ivy League tournament championships. The program also made 4 NCAA tournament appearances, including a spot in the 2013 NCAA quarterfinals against Syracuse. His last season at Yale, the program was the #1 ranked team in the NCAA polls for the first time in over 20 years. That's just experience you rarely find from a coach at the high school level. So New Canaan will retake over possession here, as Carter smartly mentioned Callum Wood in danger of turning the ball over behind the net. Coach Chip Buzzio using his second time out of the half to prevent his returning attack superstar, the Tufts commit, from turning it over.
Absolutely, yeah. Callum Wood there starting with the ball and getting it back.
Wood moves to his right. Pass batted down and stolen by Fairfield Prep. Deflection from number 26, Teddy Gravanis. And the ball bounced in the wrong direction for Prep, right into the stick of Ryan Coyote. Coyote with speed, bringing it inside the 35 with 6:40 left to go in the quarter. Coyote off the screen. An open look, he passes it up and resets. Carter Connors has also checked into the game for New Canaan. He started in place of Callum Wood at attack over the last 2 games. Connect calls off Connors. Moves inside, spins away. Connect the shot, too high. It will stay in New Canaan possession.
Yeah, we're seeing Carter Connors there take over the X position, so Callum Wood's playing a little bit higher now.
Connors will be defended by number 14, Henry Keller, the junior midi. Connors moving to his right. Back to Connect. Connect dancing. Half spin, inside, just pops it up, and in problems is Chris Connect. The ball's still loose, poked loose. Great hit from New Canaan's Carter Connors to get the ball back in the Callum Wood stick. Ryan Coyote can't get anywhere close, but a foul on Prep as a flag is thrown.
Yeah, that aggressiveness on the Prep defense definitely helping them.
Styles shoots, moving to his left, misses. It will stay in New Canaan possession. Let's see if Prep is going to be man down.
Looks like number 3, Ben Davenport.
Ben Davenport's going to check out, but they will have a player checking in. So it doesn't look like it's going to be. Number 43 checks into the game, Gavin McCarthy. And it does look like Prep is indeed man down. So the second opportunity for New Canaan today with a man-up situation to score a goal. They were denied earlier in the quarter with this opportunity. Phenomenal defense from Prep in this second frame. Coyote backpedals. Apelled over to Chris Gannett. Cognetta. Connect, shoots, scores! Top left shelf. Beautiful shot from Chris Connect, doing what he does best. And with the man-up goal, he does that right there, puts New Canaan up 5-4 with 5:03 left to go in the quarter.
Absolutely. I'm sure Coach Rushton on the offensive side for New Canaan definitely reminding his guys to be a little bit more poised on that man-up situation, and it pays off there as Chris Connect goes top shelf, like you said, to make it a 5-4 game.
Prep racking up the penalties in the early going, and it comes back to bite him there. New Canaan still has, excuse me, never mind the point I was trying to make. Hayden Shin looking to win another draw, and Dylan Stevens comes in and bails him out. New Canaan wins another possession, but Stevens is under attack. They honed the freshman. Borthwick picks it up, the ball out of his hands. It's loose and into Preps. New Canaan is not set up defensively. Into the hands of Maddox Little with 4:36 left to go in the half.
not set up defensively, but Braden Sweeney doing a very smart job of staying back, not letting Max Little get to the front of the net.
One of the top D-men on this team is the senior Braden Sweeney, number 91. Kyle Stevenson takes his time. 4:15 left to go in the second quarter. New Canaan, the 5-4 lead following the man-up goal from Chris Canette. Spinning is number 41, Grandolfo. Grandolfo, excuse me. Off the screen. A weird-looking shot from Fox. Scooped up by Busby. He's under attack. Stevenson gets it away to Braden Sweeney. The freshman, Dylan Stevens, a smart play, finding a wide-open Braden Sweeney. He turned it over a few moments ago, but he clears it for New Canaan there. Another penalty on Prep.
Yeah, an easy flag there for the referee to call.
Multiple flags are thrown as Connor Bailey is just going to hold it. Carter Connors, the junior, with it. 3:20 left to go in the second quarter. New Canaan up 5-4. And once again, they are in. No, excuse me, it's not man up, even though there were penalties thrown. Bailey moving left. Now right. Bailey looking for a shot. He can get creative. And then the whistles are blown. And the refs are going to talk it over as it seems like New Canaan's going to go man up. 43 is going to get called for a slash. Gavin McCarthy is going to check out. He commits the crime. So for the second time in almost as many minutes, New Canaan back up in man-up situation. With 2:58 left to go in the quarter. Can they take advantage again? They are 1 for 2 so far today, when there's one less man on the defensive end.
Definitely seen a lot more flags on the field than that prior home game for the Rams against Ludlow.
We only saw 2 all game, and they were both in the final minute of the game when it really wasn't too competitive anymore. That one batted down by number 10, Cooper Callahan. Callum Wood with that bad pass. It's going to be Fairfield Prep's possession. A violation on New Canaan. Still 40 seconds left with man up, and Prep's going to look to waste some time here clearing it. They'll get it over to number 14, Henry Keller. 2:26 left to go in the quarter. Prep moving it around.
Wow, too many men charge on Fairfield Prep.
Good call there. We could hear that call right up here from the booth. Holden Busby is going to clear for New Canaan. New Canaan is still man up for the next 10 seconds. Let's see if they can take advantage. Braden Sweeney, the D-man, moving on offense. Apelt finds Canette. And no more man up anymore as they will check back in Steffens. Cognetto also checks back in for New Canaan with 1:47 left to go in the half. Coyote along the near alley, now moves right, pumps. Coyote looking and misfiring, trying to find Harry Apelt on that pass. Cleared by Prep with ease. Moving it up to Kyle Colucci. Colucci, number 22. 1:20 left in the second quarter. Prep moving it behind the cage. Looking to tie this game up before we head into the half. And this very balanced affair from Dunning.
Yeah, we see number 23 there, Royal Patton, just trying to burn the clock down a little bit, waiting for his guys to get set after a change.
Looking to take it all the way, but then moving back behind the cage is Marco Fermender, who's gotten plenty of action so far today. 38 seconds to work with. Prep taking their time and then some. Bumped by Stevens, forcing the turnover. Stevens scoops it up, gets it away, and creates a turnover for New Canaan. That freshman is something, isn't he? Is Christian Wolter on the move, the Ohio Wesleyan commit.
Something he is. Bumped definitely being an understatement on that hit. Turning the ball over in the New Canaan's favor.
10 seconds for Carter Connors to make something happen. He finds Callum Wood, and Wood nearly puts it in. He might have fallen into the crease there.
Crease violation there for Callum Wood.
They're going to wave that one off. 1 second left. The shot heaved. The shot no good. He might not have even gotten it off in time. Marco Vermender letting it rip. Crease violation on Callum Wood, so that make did not count. So New Canaan will hold on to their 5-4 lead as we head into the half. Carter, these top 5 teams looking like top 5 teams right now. It was a back and forth first quarter. We've seen the scoring slow down, but what has picked up in its place?
Definitely the defense. Both teams making some adjustments, trying to keep those shots away from the outside, and Prep definitely finding the go-to guys for New Canaan and trying to lock them down. We've definitely seen Callum Wood get smothered and being played very tight on defense. So definitely hard for New Canaan to generate some offense, but New Canaan doing just as much on their defensive end to keep the ball out of Prep's stick.
That's pretty impressive scouting from Coach Nemi, considering Wood hasn't really played all year long, pretty much a quarter of game action, and he hasn't played in a year because of COVID. And Nick Stiles, he had a phenomenal start, speaking of locking people down, Carter, but he's really been slowed down. We haven't called his name in quite some time after he scored the first 3 goals of his game.
Absolutely, yeah, and that's something that you kind of want to see. I mean, not just that we're that Prep is locking down New Canaan's attackmen, but we're starting to see some offense being generated by other New Canaan offensive men, which is definitely something that you want to see.
5-4 is your score as we head into the second half. We're 8.5 minutes away from the third quarter, so make sure you stay tuned, you like, and you subscribe to NCTV 78 for more action. Before we head to the break, let's take a look at our sponsors. Start off our platinum sponsor, and that will be Walter Stewart's. Walter Stewart's is your fresh local market. We also want to thank Rambuya and Harrow, the business of real estate. I want to thank our gold sponsor, Club Sandwich, located at 107 Cherry Street, New Canaan. I want to thank our NC Rams All Sports Booster Club silver sponsors, Performance PT, Educational Futures, the SIG Insurance Agencies, OSSM Orthopedic Surgery and Sports Medicine, Renaissance Partners, and Rand Insurance. And lastly, our black sponsors, Ready Rooster, Shilala, 84 Sports New Canaan, New Canaan Diner, NC Graphics, The Athletic Shoe Factory, Togs, Dr. Austin Feeney, and the Lewis School of Driving. And we can't forget Prudding and Company Custom Builders. The NC Rams All Sports Booster Club supports all NC Rams athletics. 5-4 is your score. New Canaan in the lead at home, looking to stay undefeated right here at Dunning Field and looking to even out their record to 2-2. Meanwhile, Fairfield Prep is looking to avoid dropping to 2-2. Ian Nicholas and Carter Ellis will bring you the second half action in 6 minutes and 45 seconds. Back from Dunning Field, Ian Nicholas, Carter Ellis, and the rest of the NCTV crew bringing you the live action of New Canaan boys lacrosse up against Fairfield Prep. The third best team in the state heading into the year, New Canaan, the fourth best team in the state heading into the year, Fairfield Prep. This out-of-conference matchup for both teams, and it should be a fun finish. Carter, we've seen a lot of theatrics from both sides, but one aspect of the game we maybe haven't highlighted enough is the goalie play. How do you feel like Holden Busby, in only his fourth career start, has fared up against a high-powered team like Prep?
I think Holden Busby is doing everything he can. You know, he's doing a great job of definitely getting the saves that he's supposed to be getting and a little bit more. But there's definitely some saves that are hard for him to get. And, you know, with that lack of experience, it's just kind of harder for him to get to those spots. And same with Sam Cargill, excuse me. You know, they're both doing a good job and definitely keeping it competitive with one another. And I think that one more area that we haven't talked about enough is the face-off dot. Hayden Shin has been doing a great job of keeping it in New Canaan's possession. And as we were talking about earlier, the face-offs are where the momentum starts, and that's something that has definitely helped this New Canaan offense in terms of keeping the ball in their possession.
And meanwhile, of keeping the ball in their possession and potentially scoring on those possessions, Prep got themselves into some penalty trouble late in that quarter. A couple of man-up situations for New Canaan, and on the last one, they capitalized with the goal scored from Chris Canaan. Prep's got to do a better job of staying disciplined, plain and simple.
Definitely, yeah. You definitely see them a little bit more aggressive than New Canaan's defense, but on the other hand, getting a little bit more foul trouble. So if they can find that happy medium between aggressiveness and keeping all of their men on the field, that's where they're going to find their most success.
Hayden Shin's had an up-and-down start to this year, but he is really finding success so far today. Matched up against number 17, Ted Bednar, the junior, up against the senior. Let's see who wins this draw. And it's going to be Prep's ball, a violation on Shin. Prep, the first possession of the second half, and they look to tie this game up at 5. Behind the cage, number 1, Tim Shanahan, getting some of his first action in this game. The freshman. Over to Stevenson, moving to the left. Hesitating.
Yeah, you see Kyle Stevenson, number 12 there, definitely favoring his right hand, so that may be something that the New Canaan defense should note.
Fox working against Dylan Stevens. He's had an excellent young season and start to his varsity career as a freshman. The shot deflected away by Holden Busby off the look from Marco Furmender. Prep on the move, diving and scoring. Beautiful shot, falling to the turf, Peter Grandolfo.
Yeah, what a fantastic effort by Peter Fandola, like you said, on the Prep side. He just saw the lane, and the player for Prep behind the net was able to find him there on the move and finish it in the back of the net.
Peter Grandolfo came in like a hawk off the rebound opportunity. A second chance for Prep off that miss from his fellow sophomore Furmender. And he scores to tie this game up at 5-all with 11:09 left in the third quarter. Shin and Bednar fighting forward at the X. Nobody gaining clear possession, and now Prep's going to run away with it. Number 7, James McGrath with possession. And now into the hand of number 2, Maddox Little. Prep looking to swing the momentum in their favor, tying the game up at 5-5 with 10:43 left to go in the third quarter. Aiden Derby moves to his right. Shanahan working on Charlie Borthwick. Backpedaling is Derby. Christian Sweeney defends. Back to Colucci, the senior captain, with 10:10 left in the third quarter. A long possession here for the Jesuits. Number 24 gets it over back to Shanahan. Busby stares him down from the other side of the cage. New Canaan tightening up that defense after letting up that pretty goal to Grandfolo. Fox loses it. Had an opportunity and couldn't keep it in his stick. Braden Sweeney looking to get it in his. He's scrapping for it with 2 Prep defenders. He lays one on the ground. 2 Prep offensive men, that is. Sweeney does not prevail. Jack Connors, a loose ball in front of him, and the senior captain comes up with it for the Rams. The long stick mini floats it up to Harry A. Pelton. He turns it over. Back-to-back turnovers.
And Mason Whitney there definitely showing off his wonderful hockey stick skills, just dangling through those New Canaan offensive men to get into the Prep's offensive zone.
A beautiful looking shot from the right side of the crease, and it comes from number 1, his first of the day. It's Tim Shanahan, the freshman, making plays in this primetime game. Prep with 2 unanswered goals to start the second half. They go up 6-5 with exactly 9 minutes left in the third quarter.
Yeah, that's the type of offensive conversion that I'm more used to seeing from Mason Whitney on the ice, but definitely showing off his ability to play both sides of the field against New Canaan.
Back-to-back face-offs won by Prep, but Hayden Shin makes sure to win this draw. Shin could take it all the way, but instead he dumps it off to Harry Apelt, who turned it over, and that led to the Shanahan goal. Canaan moving right and responding in 14 seconds. Chris Canaan, just like that, ties the game back up at 6-6 off the face-off win from Hayden Shin.
Yes, Chris Canaan, the reigning All-State New Canaan player, definitely showing his leadership and how to bounce back off of a tough goal such as that one. And a great shot by Canaan, just goes right over the right shoulder, or left shoulder, excuse me, of Sam Cardrell.
The UPenn commit, Chris Canaan, he always finds the way to step up in the big moment. Canaan will bump Bednar, but he wins his 3rd draw in 4 attempts to start the second half with under 8:40 left to go in the third quarter. The scoring has picked back up here from Dunning.
Yeah, we're absolutely seeing Bednar stepping up, and that those face-off wins are converting and giving the momentum towards the Jesuits.
Stevenson, the Franklin and Marshall commit, gets the ball back here from Furmender. Inside the 20-yard line he goes, and pushed back out by Christian Sweeney with 8:09 left in the third. Furmender looking on Woltner. Wrong way. Whoa, wrong long range shot from Furmender. Tongue-tied I am. It will stay in Fairfield Prep possession. Shanahan, he scored 1 goal earlier in the quarter. Got it over to Kyle Stevenson. Back to Furmender. 7:45. Furmender looking for another shot. It hops in front of Busby, and he makes sure to calmly gain possession. Gets it over to Dylan Stevenson. New Canaan looking for the clear.
As Busby is showing off his poise, seeing 2 Jesuits right in front of his crease, and just takes a step behind, uses his space. Ball gets into Borthwick's hands and sends it off to number 4.
Harry Apelt.
Harry Apelt on the New Canaan side.
Apelt, another turnover in this third quarter. Prep takes right back over with 7:12 left to go in the quarter. Prep in danger of a turnover. Grandolfo is pushed. The ball out of bounds. Both teams say they have it, and they're going to say it will stay in Prep possession near midfield. Whistles blow. They're going to say a push in the back on New Canaan. At least that's what Coach Nimme is fighting for along the sideline, but no flag was thrown.
Yeah, you see Chip Buzzio there and Coach Nimme on the Fairfield side exchanging some words, arguing about that push call.
The emotions riding high with under 7 minutes left to go in the third quarter of this deadlocked game. Grandolfo gets it over to Stevenson. We've seen a lot of them in this third quarter. Stevenson on the move, missing wide right, moving to his left. That ball out of play. Still Fairfield Prep's possession. 6:40 left to go in the third. Shanahan working on Braden Sweeney. He is lit up, and that's going to be a flag on Braden Sweeney. Multiple flags thrown for number 91. Stevenson moves left, looks to score, and another miss wide right from him. It will stay in Prep possession, and presumably New Canaan will be man down. Chad Russo, the junior, will check in on defense, number 39. And so will number 66, the long stick mini, Christian Walter. Jack Connors will check out in exchange for Vincognetta, or excuse me, not Vincognetta, number 13, Nick Garcia, the junior, and the St. Luke's transfer from earlier in his career. So New Canaan will go man down, and they will go to a bit of a zone look here, Carter.
Yes, they will.
Stevenson gears up for a shot, then brings it back out to the 30. Over to Grandolfo.
Yeah, on the New Canaan side, we're seeing 4 long poles playing deep, and then Christian Sweeney on the top there.
Just high on that shot. On the left side of a crease is Grandolfo. And only 3 seconds left in the penalty, so Prep will not be man up for much longer. This is the first time they've been man up all game. The penalty ends, and New Canaan checks back in, number 5, Ryan Coyote, the Bucknell commit who scored a goal earlier in this one.
And New Canaan doing a great job of keeping the Jesuits to the outside and not letting them convert on a crucial power play.
Vermender looks to bounce it in front of Busby, missing just off to the left, and it will stay once again with the Jesuits. They are dominating possession right now. The lone strike from New Canaan coming very quickly off that face-off win from Hayden Shin. Canet scoring. And I believe that's all the time New Canaan's really had the ball in this game.
Yeah, New Canaan definitely needing to keep the ball in their 6 a little bit more. A turnover here would be crucial for the Rams.
Vermender backing down. Wolter takes another shot. He is staying aggressive, but he cannot find the back of the net right now. Number 42, the sophomore attack, Marco Vermender.
Yes, the wheel's absolutely rolling with the Jesuits right now. The New Canaan side absolutely needs a turnover to put the ball on their side.
Just over 5 minutes left in the third as Grandolfo swings it over to Tyler Fox, number 6. Vermender moving left, looking for another shot. Now behind the cage, gets it over to Fox, defended by Stevens. New Canaan not giving him anything easy. Prep forcing shots, but staying aggressive with 4:33 left to go in the third. Another half a minute ticks off the clock.
Yes, absolutely forcing shots, and they're keeping that guy on the back of the X there, waiting for that ball to be back in their possession.
Loose ball is scooped up by the goalie, Holden Busby. High IQ play from the sophomore as the backpedaling Christian Sweeney is going to clear it for New Canaan, and they get that much-needed possession with 4:10 left to go in the third. Harry Apelt, he's had a rough quarter, a couple of turnovers for the senior captain.
Yeah, and you see Holden Busby feeding his favorite target in Christian Sweeney, the defensive midi, who takes the ball up the field.
Sweeney playing his role very nicely. He's been a big part of the turnaround for New Canaan, clearing the ball early on in this year. Apelt works it over to Canet with 3:46 left to go in the third. Coyote with it, defended by Kyle Stevenson, senior on senior. Canet spins left. Coyote spins left. Bailey over to Canet. Canet moving left, looking for the shot, losing the ball. Prep an opportunity, and Granfolo comes up with it. Grandolfo and Prep with a fast break opportunity, racing down the field and shooting and scoring in the bottom right corner of the net is number 2, Maddox Little. Fast break to perfection, and Prep goes up 7-6. They retake the lead by 1. 3:14 left to go in the quarter. It was number 43, Gavin McCarthy, the freshman, who hooked up with Maddox Little.
Absolutely, and in the background noise there, you can see some Prep fans to the right side of the stands. This is the first time that any opposing students have came onto Dunning Field for this season. We see some of New Canaan's own students on their left side of the field.
Hayden Shin wins the draw. There is no limit to how many fans Dunning can hold this year. Obviously, the requirement of face masks and social distancing. And good to see some life from both sides of the aisle. The Jesuits have the life here in the second half. They hold a 7-6 lead after trailing 5-4 heading into the break. Coyote Gets it behind the net to Nick Stiles. Haven't seen a lot of Callum Wood this half. You got to wonder if that back is tightened back up, but we don't want to speculate. Norton moving right. He had a goal in their game on Thursday. 2:27 left to go in the third quarter. Coyote spins, gets free, shoots right into the stick of Sam Cargill. He's really turning it up right now.
Absolutely, yeah. An easy save for Cargill to make, but absolutely a crucial one as Prep regains control of the ball.
2:05 left in the third off the Cargill save. A Coyote shot, the ball loose, but quickly scooped up by Teddy Gravinas, the senior D-man. Norton, an excellent play on defense, and Norton regains possession for the Rams alongside the near sideline. And a good move to break free from Michael Norton. Norton, a wide open lane, passes it up and gets it over to the star, Chris Canaan. 1:40 left in the third. Bailey directs traffic as Norton checks out. Carter Connors surveys as Coyote checks back in for New Canaan. Connors finds Coyote. Coyote looking for redemption. And a high shot misses, and New Canaan retains possession. 1:20 left in the third. An A-pelt whacked right in his grill, and that is going to be an obvious flag on Prep. New Canaan has converted on one man-up goal so far today. That was back in the second quarter. Let's see if they can do so again. We're going to see if we can find who the call was on there. Number 7 is going to check out James McGrath, and it could be on the sophomore midfielder. It's going to go on number 18, Mason Whitney, number 18. The star hockey player. He is comfortable with a stick, but a little too comfortable there, getting the grill of a falling Harry Apelt. And for a minute, New Canaan's going to go back up, man up.
Absolutely, and taking a look at the defensive side on New Canaan, you see Nick Garcia and Chad Russo staying in the game. Those are two juniors who are checking in for Dylan Stevens, the freshman, and the Swarthmore-bound senior, Charlie Borthwick.
That shot hits the back netting right near the scoreboard. New Canaan retains possession. Off that wild shot. That's a nice shot. That one not too wild. And welcome to the scoreboard, Callum Wood, checking back into the game and getting goal number 1 on the year. That back is not tight. It's loose, and he scores easily. New Canaan ties the game up at 7-all with 46.8 seconds left in the third quarter. Callum Wood, he probably needed that score for his confidence, and New Canaan really needed to come away with the score on that possession, Carter.
Absolutely, yeah. Callum Wood scoring an absolutely crucial goal for his first of the year, and definitely seeing him healthy is a huge positive for the New Canaan side.
Shin looks to win his second straight face-off, tries to push it back to Christian Sweeney, and it's going to be Christian Walter who gains possession for New Canaan, finding Carter Connors along the far sideline. They have half a minute to work with at the end of this third quarter to try to take the 1-goal lead. New Canaan making some substitutions, checking in Chris Canaan and Connor Bailey. And Ryan Coyote to attack, working past the defender. Coyote dumps it off. Bailey over to Canaan. Canaan shoots, misses wide right, and is hit a little bit after the shot. 8.7 seconds for New Canaan to get off another. Connors loses the ball. Scooped up by Prep, ball loose again, and finally scooped up by the long stick midi Palmer Fermender. The defenseman, the freshman Palmer Fermender, scooping up that loose ball to end the third quarter. And we are tied once again. New Canaan had a 1-goal lead heading into the quarter, and Fairfield Prep really almost from start to finish in that quarter playing really, really great lacrosse. And they are in it to win it right now, tied up at 7-7 as we enter the fourth quarter. What are your impressions of that third?
Oh, absolutely. Start to finish, aggressiveness from the Fairfield Prep side, that is, staying consistent. Pretty much throughout this entire game, we've seen them keep the intensity up. Until the very last second, they're hitting Carter Connors to put the ball back in their possession and locking them down after what could have been an absolutely crucial goal for the Rams.
We got a great game brewing here from Dunning Field. Ian Nicholas, Carter Ellis, and the rest of the NCTV crew bringing you the live action. Make sure you like and subscribe to NCTV 78 if you like what you see. And even if you're a Prep fan, why not? These two teams could meet up in the Class L state tournament later down the line. Although they're not FCAC foes, they could see plenty of each other sooner rather than later. Both of these teams' seasons were actually ended by the same opponent in 2019. New Canaan was knocked out of the state tournament in the quarterfinals by Wilton, the team they beat a few weeks prior in the FCAC championship. And the round later, Wilton advanced to play Prep, and they beat them too. Wilton eventually losing to Darien in a Class L title that year.
Absolutely,
That season ended.
You know, coming up this week on Wednesday, New Canaan will face off against number 5 Wilton, being their first time since losing in that state championship, like you said, 2 years ago. You know, not having a season last year due to COVID. But they did beat Wilton in the championship for the FCAC final, and then, as you said, lost in the semifinal for the state championship.
Yep, lost in the quarterfinals to Wilton, 8-7. They beat them in the championship game, and the last time they played them was June 1st, 2019. So well over a year plus, nearly 2 years since New Canaan has matched up against Wilton, and that's going to be a great game on Wednesday. But we're not focused on that. We're focused on this one, a tied game as we head into the quarter. And before they really had a chance to face off, they're going to say it was a violation on Bednar, and that New Canaan takes over possession. Bit of a false start from Bednar.
Yeah, Bednar not able to get set before the referee said that he's had enough and just gives the ball to Hayden Shin. Puts it in the Rams' possession.
New Canaan trying to capitalize off that late momentum to end the third quarter off that Callum Wood goal, his first on the year for the Tufts commit, and one of the starting attack men of this New Canaan team. Nick Stiles had a big impact earlier in this game. He's been shut down ever since the first quarter ended. Chris Canette moves to his right, shoots, deflected, and they're going to award possession to New Canaan. Chris Canette keeping it with the Rams, defended by Cooper Callahan. Canette moves to his right, now behind the crease. Canette finds a cutting Carter Connors, and he can't get hold of the ball. Connors brings it back to in front of the crease, and he's laid out, and that is a foul on number 7, James McGrath, the sophomore. Connors ran right into a brick wall.
Yeah, an easy call there for the referee to make, a clear hit to the head against Carter Connors. But Connors, again, able to take the hit to make a great play for his team, put them up, for a power play, which could be a crucial goal for the Rams.
Connors checks out, a bit shaken up. He should be all right. Checking in, fellow junior attack Vin Cognetta. The refs are going to talk it over, trying to finalize what this penalty, in fact, is. Coach Nemi trying to argue that Connors fell, and it looked like a foul, but really was not one. Trying to argue his point.
Yeah, I see Nemi's point. Carter Connors looking as though he got maybe pushed in the back and then goes down on his knees, in which number 7, James McGrath finished the hit to the head. It absolutely is a clear hit to the head on McGrath, but Nemi just wanting to try to catch the benefit of the doubt in terms of Connors' fall right before the hit.
So they do assess the penalty on McGrath, and for the next minute, New Canaan is man up, looking to score and take the lead. Behind the net, it's Connor Bailey. Apelt with it now over to Chris Canette. 10:33 left in the fourth quarter and 35 seconds left of this man-up situation for New Canaan.
Yeah, the Rams absolutely using that whole minute, not forcing anything, keeping that poise, which is crucial on the man-up opportunity.
Canette right in front of a crease, gears up for a shot, passes it out to Nick Stiles. 20 seconds left in his power play of sorts. Over to Canaan. He takes his shot. He misses left. Still in New Canaan possession with 10:08 left in the quarter and 14 seconds left of man-up time for NC. Coach Chip Buzzio barking orders from the sideline. He knows these are a crucial 14 seconds. Gets it over to Nick Stiles. Coyote on the hop, missing.
Yeah, Callum Wood picking up the ball there. They still have 7 seconds on this man-up opportunity. 5.
Gets it over to Canaan. 1 second left. Prep's going to look to check in their man.
Yeah, number 14, Henry Keller comes in on the defensive zone.
And it doesn't matter. He didn't come in time as Callum Wood has now scored back-to-back goals for New Canaan with 9:47 left to go in the fourth quarter.
As Callum Wood, Ian, absolutely finding his stride that he needs after his injury, his back injury. Definitely getting his confidence back after that first goal, like you said. Scoring the tie goal and the go-ahead 8-7 goal to put the Rams up with 9:47 left in the fourth quarter.
9:47 left in the quarter. New Canaan goes up 8-7. They've now scored 2 unanswered goals to eliminate the Jesuit lead. And Shin and Bednar back at the draw. And Shin, the ball in front of him, still loose. Shin's there. No clear possession just yet.
And no clear face-off win.
Prep pushing it, but out of play, and it looks like New Canaan is going to be the nearest team to that loose ball, and New Canaan finally ends up winning it.
Yeah, very odd face-off, going all the way down to the 10-yard line in the Prep defensive zone and then going out of bounds at the 35, right in front of the New Canaan bench.
Good job by Hayden Shin to get it there, and then his teammates picked it up from there, really pushed it out. 9:15 left to go in the quarter. New Canaan now up 1 after 2 straight goals from the senior captain, Callum Wood. Can add an open look and a really pretty save from Cargill. Prep repped 2 goalies last game, but Cargill's been the man who's doing really good work for them in the net today. 8:50 left in the fourth quarter as the ball in the hands or in the net of Kyle Stevens. Now Tim Shanahan. Prep's going to take their time now with it as Marco Fearmender works it behind the net. 8.5 left to go. Back over to Fearmender. 41, Peter Grandolfo. Spinning and getting the screen. Fearmender working on Wolter. Grandolfo sets the screen for Fox. Can't do much off of it. Long possession for Fairfield. The shot missing just off to the left, and that one missed by Grandolfo. It will stay with Prep.
Yeah, very awkward shot from Grandolfo. Holden Busby expressing a little bit of frustration, thinking that he could have had that save. Definitely getting out there, but missed a little too far left of his net.
New Canaan has allowed these long possessions to just keep ticking and ticking away for Prep all game long, giving them multiple second chance opportunities to score. Tyler Fox with 7.5 minutes left, moving to his left, shooting and missing wide left as he stumbles to the turf. Still in Prep possession as they still trail 1. Braden Sweeney on defense on Shanahan. Working it back up to outside the 35-yard line, backpedaling to the 40 is Fearmender, getting a clear look at what's in front of him. Fearmender moves left, spins, loses the ball. Chad Russo looking to scoop it up. He does. But Junior looking to clear it, and he misfires to Chris Canette. Callum Wood is there for New Canaan. The ball still loose at the 40-yard line. Pushing and shoving. And finally, Prep comes away with it, finally gaining possession. As Grandolfo moving, but Wolter pops it loose. With 6:48 left to go in the quarter, and a timeout is called. A much-needed timeout, as neither team really had anything going over the last minute or so.
Yeah, Christian Walter being tenacious in the defensive zone there to break up the ball. a much-needed play for the Rams defense.
Walter, one of the 8 New Canaan players, all seniors, committed to play at the college level, highlighted by future UPenn man Chris Canaan and Bucknell man Ryan Coyote. But Christian Walter has definitely stepped up his game today. He's made a lot of great plays with that long stick of his.
Absolutely, yeah. No, Christian Walter doing a lot, on the wings, heading into the face-off, and in the deep zone. So definitely setting his presence throughout the entire game.
6:48 left to go in the final quarter of this one. Ian Nicholas, Carter Ellis, and the rest of the NCTV crew providing you the live action of this Connecticut high school lacrosse matchup. Make sure you like and subscribe if you're not already. NCTV 78. Our next live stream will not be a boys lacrosse game. It will be a baseball game on Wednesday up against Fairfield Ward. We might be doing that stream, but a stream we will definitely be doing lacrosse-wise is New Canaan Girls Lacrosse's first game of the year, where they are going to be matched up against Darien right here on Thursday. So make sure to stay tuned for that one as the boys lacrosse team hits the road for their next 2 games up against number 5 Wilton and number 1 Darien on Saturday. Let's see how this one shakes up. New Canaan looking to even their record back up to 2-2. Prep looking to keep themselves in the win column and rebound off their loss to Richfield 2 days ago. A sunny day from New Canaan High. We were expecting some rain, had a little of an overcast forecast earlier on, but it has brightened up, and the play has, like the weather, been fantastic.
Absolutely. Definitely an interesting one to watch up here in the broadcasting booth.
.640 left to go in the fourth quarter. Prep looking for it. Grandolfo, a good pump fake. He gives it up behind the net to Shanahan. Fox moves it up to Furmender. Furmender over to number 12, Kyle Stevenson. This has been the main lineup for Prep offensively so far today for Coach Nemi and his squadron. Delivering the blow is Furmender. Gets it down low. Ball still loose. A rebound opportunity, and Braden Sweeney scoops it up for the Rams. Keeping it in bounds.
Oh.
And whose possession will it be? It will
be New Canaan's.
New Canaan's. Great defensive effort from Braden Sweeney with just over 6 minutes left in the quarter.
Yeah, Braden Sweeney doing a great job of just flicking that ball right back in bounds, kind of a hockey-style play, if you will. And then Maddox Little trying to scoop it back up, but accidentally pushes the ball out of bounds.
So it's going to be a clear opportunity here for New Canaan, a clear attempt. Over to Chad Russo. Russo on the move. And Coach Chip Buzzio calling for a timeout, which he will get with 5:41 left to go in the quarter. His team still up 1. Definitely not a comfortable lead, and Coach Buzzio looking to extend to it off the timeout. And this Prep team was one of the top teams in the state, as we mentioned, during that 2019 season when they went 17-4. And they won the SEC tournament for I believe, the 5th straight year and the 3rd straight year under head coach Graham Nemi. They defeated Guilford in the SEC Boys Lax title game. 13-7, they were the 1 seed in that tournament, which they have dominated over the last half a decade. And in states, they were bounced in the Class L semifinals, like I said earlier, by Wilton, who also beat New Canaan in the previous round that year. They also graduated a couple of All-Americans, just like New Canaan did that year with Quentin O'Connell and a couple of other great players that they had that year. They graduated 2 All-Americans, midfielder Connor Boyle, who was a Vermont commit, and Mason Reel, a Villanova commit. An attack. So this was a really talented team from a few years ago. Their top players this year, really unknowns heading into this season with such a young team, and we've seen 2 sophomores who have really stepped up in this game, like Peter Grandolfo and Marco Furmender, a midfielder and an attackman respectively, who are going to be the future of this Prep program for years to come. 5:41 left to go in the fourth quarter, and New Canaan holding on to the 8-7 lead. They were up 1 at the half. They're up 1 once again. They have trailed at points in this fourth quarter. In the second half, I should say, but now they lead by 1. Michael Norton with the ball gets it over to Chris Canaan. Nick Stiles along the far alley. New Canaan in no rush off the timeout. Callum Wood scored 2 goals in the second half, 2 critical goals for New Canaan's success. Harry Apel gets physical. Dumps it back out to Norton. 5:13 left to go in the fourth. Norton hesitating left, gets the screen from Canaan, but is picked up quickly by McCarthy.
Yeah, number 7, James McGrath, doing a great job of getting out to Chris Kennett there, who tries to be an option for Michael Norton.
The ball is loose. Kennett calmly scoops it up, is whacked from behind, and that shot way out of bounds.
And Cardinal doing a great job running and beating Harry Apel to the ball, putting it in Fairfield Prep's possession.
You're exactly right, Carter. Really big defensive possession there from Prep. Played very well, working off the screen, pressuring Kennett on a shot, and clearly looks like they gained possession.
But yeah,
it looks like they're going to overturn it, and it's going to be Vincognito who's going to put this ball back in play for New Canaan. So it is New Canaan's possession with 4:52 left, and they're going to say it's a penalty on Ridgefield. Or excuse me, on Ridgefield.
Fairfield
Both
Prep.
these teams played Ridgefield. That's why I'm saying that, all right? It's on number 34, Palmer Furmender. His first penalty of the game, and once again, New Canaan is in a man-up situation. They're going to say that he got too much of Chris Kennett on that shot and that it's a penalty, and a flag was evidently thrown on the younger of the Furmender brothers, the freshman Palmer.
I love seeing how the Rams were able to adjust and notice that they had to add a little bit more poise to their man-up opportunities here. You know, not seeing a lot of man-up opportunities. Ooh.
That's man down in between the legs of Cardinal, and it's Callum Wood who's on fire. His 3rd goal of the second half. And welcome back, Callum, showing no signs of rust. And New Canaan extends the lead to 2, 9-7, with 4:14 left to go on that man-up goal from Callum Wood.
Callum Wood absolutely showcasing his talent there, scoring the last 3 goals. You know, once being down 6-7, adding 3, making it 9-7 in the Rams' favor.
He has put the game in his hands. He's got the confidence. Coach Chip Buzzio has the confidence in him. And a false start on Bednar will award another possession for New Canaan. Norton moves to his left with just over 4 minutes left in this one, and Fairfield Prep has to play their best ball in this final 4 minutes to get back in this one. Ryan Coyote gets it over to Norton. New Canaan in a standstill. Over to Chris Kennett with 3:42 left in the fourth. Norton moves left, following the Callum Wood goal. Carter Connors being pressured by Kyle Colucci, the senior captain. Connors, a nice spin to get inside, but pushed back out by some good Prep defense. The ball loose, whacked away by Prep. An opportunity for a fast break. Dylan Stevens tries to make the play on the ball, but Prep's number 2, Maddox Little, takes over. And Prep has gained possession with just over 3 minutes left in the fourth. They still trail 2, and they need to score fast. Ball in the stick of Ryan O'Connell. O'Connell moves to his right and dumps it off to Tim Shanahan. 2:46 left to go in the fourth. On the far wing, it's number 23, Patton Royal.
Yeah, you see Fairfield Prep here, definitely showing a lot of poise, but getting a little aggressive, playing a little bit tighter into the box.
Royal moves inside. The shot, no dice. New Canaan's possession, a violation on Prep. The miss there from Patton Royal, the sophomore midfielder. A big opportunity off a New Canaan turnover, and the Jesuits could not convert as that ball is cleared easily by the Rams. Christian Sweeney with 2:10 left in the final frame.
Yes, an easy crease violation call on
Patton Royal.
Patton Royal. I almost said Royal Patton. Patton Royal.
Great name either way. But the sophomore makes a big blunder there, getting too close for comfort. The easy crease violation, as Carter put it, and a turnover for Prep. As they trail 2, now well under 2 minutes left in this game, 1:45 remain.
Yeah, you see Fairfield Prep trying to put 2 guys underneath the net, putting extra pressure on Ryan Coyote. They have 3 guys underneath, keeping an extra man on Michael Norton. I see Fairfield Prep definitely getting a little jumpy. You know, number 17, Ted Bednar, coming off with a couple false starts on the faceoff dot. So I think that they're just a little under pressure here with 1:20 left, being down by 2.
Just like Richfield did to them on Thursday with 5 minutes left in the game and a 1-goal lead, New Canaan with 2 minutes left is chewing clock. Maybe not. Maybe not. I jinxed him. Harry Apel proves me wrong and potentially puts the dagger on it with 1:05 left. New Canaan breaks double-digit scoring, and off the assist from, I believe, Carter Connors, it will be Harry Apel who finds the back of the net and puts a bow on it with 1:05 remaining.
Absolutely, and hands over knees is number 26, Teddy Gravinas. A tough pill to swallow, seeing as Callum Wood finding his stride late in the game, scoring 3 late goals, putting them up 9-7, and then that last 10th goal, as you said, possibly putting the dagger into this Jesuits team.
Shin and Bednar fighting for it. Shin hacking at it, maybe too aggressively as whistles are blown with 56.7 seconds left. A timeout is called, presumably by Coach Graham Nemi of Fairfield Prep. Not a lot of time to plan up a ton as they trail 3 scores with 56.7 seconds left in this game. And New Canaan looks well on their way to evening their record back up at 2-2, and Prep looks like they will drop to 2-2 ahead of their Thursday matchup up against Xavier. And New Canaan, they caught fire late. A couple really good looks from the side of a crease from Callum Wood to really switch the momentum, and then Harry Apel finishing the deal with just over a minute left.
Absolutely, yeah. You love to see Callum Wood find his stride late in the game, like I've already mentioned before. Someone who has struggled a little bit injury-wise, not just this year, but also knee injury-wise. That may be why you got confused earlier in the game with his knee versus back injury,
yeah.
Ian. His sophomore year, battling through an MCL injury, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So Callum Wood definitely used to that injury trouble throughout his NCHS campaign.
Yeah, I played with Callum in the youth football level for years. He was a great teammate, a great linebacker. When he played football, obviously he made the right move to pursue lacrosse. He's now going to Tufts. Because of it, he dealt with a lot of knee problems and a lot of big knee problems, not just minor ones. And great to see the way he's worked his way back and become, as Coach Chip Buzzio told me before the game, one of the top players at his position statewide. Just under 45 seconds left in this one as Prep in desperation mode. Heaving that shot and putting it in is Marco Fearmender. Not over just yet. The sophomore doing everything he can to keep this game in striking distance. It's 10-8 with just over 40 seconds left in the fourth.
I love how this young Prep squad has established themselves as a very tenacious team going from start to finish. Just like we said at the very end of the half there, how they were tight on Carter Connors, and they're tight here at the end of this game with 40 seconds left.
Shin with a big draw win there to gain possession. And now New Canaan most likely just looking to chew clock as Shin is going to go over the back line and turn it over. He won the faceoff and then ran way too far out of bounds with 28.5 seconds left, so Prep will take over with under half a minute remaining and trailing 2. The goalie, Cargill, trying to work it up the field and turning it over into the stick of number 20, Barrett Schmitz, the D-Midi. And a flag is thrown as Schmitz is shoved out of bounds.
Yeah, number 12, Kyle Stevenson, obviously showing a little bit of his frustration, and Chip Buzzio puts a hand up, obviously flustered with that play with only 14 seconds left in this game.
Looks like Coach Chip Buzzio elected to use the timeout right after that flag was thrown. So a 14.3 seconds left. New Canaan will huddle up and make sure they don't blow it. It would be tough to do so, but Coach Chip Buzzio, not a perfect game from his team, but up against a top-ranked opponent, Carter, New Canaan, they got really close to beating Richfield, a game that was disappointing, but a step in the right direction for this New Canaan team. And then they took the next step today to finally beat one of those top opponents. This one, Fairfield Prep.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, Richfield kept their composure throughout the entire game. They were once down, and then they came back up and kept their lead 10-8, and then with a goal by Ryan Coyote made it 10-9. But they kept the possession in their sticks for the last 5 minutes of that game, making New Canaan unable to convert offensively. But, you see a game here, the Rams versus the Jesuits, both teams being aggressive throughout the entire game, keeping it interesting for the fans here at Dunning Stadium, and a great FCAC versus SEC matchup.
And this game has truly been as back and forth as it gets. New Canaan had a 2-0 lead to start this game, but ever since, no team has held a lead bigger than 1 goal. It's been a phenomenal game where momentum has been hard to find. Chris Canaan, a veteran play to pop the ball up and say sayonara to Fairfield Prep as New Canaan is going to pick up their 2nd win on the year and their 1st win up against a ranked team in the Game Time CT poll. New Canaan now 2-2. Fairfield Prep also dropping to 2-2. Your final 10 Rams, 8 Jesuits, as New Canaan is now undefeated when playing on Dunning. And the second half effort from Callum Wood, really scoring 3 of the 5 goals for New Canaan in this half, was a huge driving force for this win.
Absolutely, yeah. Senior Callum Wood playing his part on this team. And as you said, very skilled player and a leader. Being a senior captain, just knows how to bring his guys together and definitely perform under crunch time.
And one guy who really deserves a lot of credit as a first-year varsity player as a sophomore is Holden Busby. He has more than held his own. He's now played 3 ranked teams in his first 4 starts at goalie, and now you've seen him live twice, Carter. What are your early impressions of the Rams' new netminder?
Yeah, Holden Busby, a veteran guy, new guy, excuse me, definitely showing off his poise against these, action-packed ranked opponents, doing a very good job as a first-year netminder for the New Canaan Rams.
We're going to see a lot more of him for years to come, and New Canaan picking up that much-needed win today here on Dunning. 10-8 your final score. Make sure you like and subscribe to NCTV 78 for more action, as our next lacrosse stream will be the girls lacrosse game on Thursday up against Darien right here on Dunning. And before we get to our sponsors, I want to shout out my crew for the terrific work they did today. Carter Ellis returning to the booth, doing an excellent job as my color analyst. Thanks so much, Carter.
Of course, Ian.
I want to thank my cameraman, Irving Dorman, our producer, Cole Schubert, helping us out today. And throughout the day, Emily Fox coming in clutch, really saving our stream from going down. And advisor Roman Cebulski, athletic director Jay Egan, thank you guys so much. Ian Nicholas signing off once again. But before I do, let's take it to the sponsors. I want to thank our NC Rams All Sports Booster Club Platinum sponsor, Walter Stewart's, Your Fresh Local Market, and also Rambuya and Hara. I want to thank our gold sponsor, Club Sandwich, breakfast, lunch, or catering at 107 Cherry Street right here in town. I want to thank our silver sponsors, Performance PT, Educational Futures, the SIG Insurance Agencies, OSSM Orthopedic Surgery and Sports Medicine, Renaissance Partners, Rand Insurance, and finally our black sponsors, Ready Rooster, Sheila La, 84 Sports New Canaan, the New Canaan Diner, NC Graphics, the Athletic Shoe Factory, Togs, Dr. Austin Feeney, the Lewis School of Driving, and Prodding and Company Custom Builders. The NC Rams All Sports Booster Club supports all NC Rams athletics. The number 3 team in the state heading into this season, New Canaan. Knocking off the number 4 team in the state heading into this season, Fairfield Prep. 10-8 your final score. That does it for us here from NCTV. Ian Nicholas signing off one last time from Dunning. We'll see you all very shortly. Have a great night.